well. There's no question that Canada is a key ally. Le Canada est un allié clé dont la mission de
Canada has been a key ally in the air combat effort, the fifth largest contributor today. It's extremely irresponsible for the government to not only downplay Canada's contribution, but to whittle it down for political purposes. Political purposes.
That the current Liberal government is using its past positions in this place and its rhetoric during the election campaign to step back from a critical mission. And if I would say to my honourable friends on the other side, if you need political cover to do the right thing, believe me, on this side of the House, we would be standing with you. If you would say, come clean to the people of Canada. Look, things have changed since we were in the election. Things are different after the Paris attacks. We've seen now the important work that our brave women and men were doing in the aerial campaign. We want to change our mind. We would be, on this side of the House, we would be applauding you. We would be applauding you. We would not make any partisan jabs or jibes. This would not be a time where we would try to one-up you, say you're flip-flopping. Lots of other issues you're flip-flopping on, but on this one,
just do the right thing.
We want you to do the right thing.
Absolutely.
But no. They're willing to blow past their promise on a $10 billion deficit. It's going to be multiples of that now. That promise they don't want to keep, the fiscal responsibility promise. But now they feel that they have an important promise to keep at a time when we are needed to be side by side with our allies. That's the unconscionable part of this motion, Mr. Speaker, and why we feel so strongly that we have to move to another position on this side of the House. We will be, of course, voting against this motion. ISIS has declared war. I mean, when people are saying, well, you know, our Minister of Defence at one point, your Minister of Defence, Canada's Minister of Defence said, well, you know, there's no real war here. On the contrary, when the other side declares war on you and has the means, the military means, to act against our interests and against the safety of our citizenry, then whether we like it or not, there is a war going on. Le groupe État islamique a déclaré la guerre au Canada.
ISIS has declared war on Canada and our allies. It is paramount that the government stands shoulder to shoulder with our allies to defend and protect the safety and security of Canadians both here and abroad.
I would say, Mr. Speaker, more in sorrow than in anger, that the Liberals remain incoherent on this air combat mission. They have not provided a scintilla of explanation of how the withdrawal of the CF-18s will help the coalition more effectively be able to defeat ISIS. And despite the Liberal government's opposition to the bombing, Canadian aircraft are still there refueling, still refueling the planes that conduct the airstrikes and identify targets for them. So you're against the bombing, but you're helping the bombing. This is the kind of incoherence that confuses our allies, that makes us, quite frankly, a laughingstock in the corridors of power of our allies, and why we on this side of the House demand a more coherent strategy to work with our allies, to be on their side, not only behind the scenes. We know those meetings take place, but to be up front. That's the message we want to send to the enemy. That's the help we want to give to our allies. And that's why this motion, this government motion, is so incoherent and so contrary to the interests of Canadians. We have, we're a great country. We can do a lot of things simultaneously. We can be involved in the diplomatic mission. We can be involved in the humanitarian mission. And we can be involved in the aerial mission. we can contribute to the airstrikes alongside the training, the humanitarian support, the diplomatic endeavors to seek to contain Islamic State. Our personnel have been very effective over the past year. President Obama has said that airstrikes are a key pillar in the fight against Islamic State. So you don't have to believe me, you can believe the Democrat in the White House, if you so choose. And while we support having a focus on humanitarian and security assistance, that is simply a continuation of what the Conservative Party did whilst in government, we should not distract away from the effectiveness of the CF-18s in the mission. The Prime Minister is sometimes prone to a little bit of rhetorical fancy. He said, and I quote, "The lethal enemy of barbarism isn't hatred, it's reason." But if reason is the answer, what reason justifies backing away from a just fight? This fight is just. This could be the fight of our generation. Alas, it could be the fight of future generations. I wish it were not the case. But it could very well be the case, Mr. Speaker. And so for the Prime Minister and the Liberal side to say that Canada is back, and then one of their first substantive things is to back away from the fight of a generation, Mr. Speaker, we on this side of the House cannot countenance that. We cannot support that. We cannot vote for that. We will be voting against this resolution. Thank you very much.